Welcome to Developer Rescue. Today we will learn about GetX state management tool in Flutter. So let us get started. First of all, we will open Android Studio. And we will create a new Flutter project. We will name this project as GetX Flutter. We will hit create. And by this way we can create a Flutter project. Our next step is to just remove the unnecessary code from main.dart file. So I am removing all the unnecessary code from this file. You have to do this in similar way. Because all main.dart file are same by default. Whenever we create a project, so just remove all the unnecessary code from main.dart file, and after that we will go to Chrome and we will open Google Chrome. So I am opening Google Chrome and search for, I am also searching for here GetX Flutter. Get is basically a library used for state management in Flutter. So whenever we want to do state management in Flutter, we use get library, or any other library like provider and block. Other libraries are also present there, but today we will use get library. We will discuss about get library. In further videos we will also discuss about other libraries like block, provider and other state management approaches. For now we are using getx. So our first step in this is to just copy this library, and we have to paste this. Just come again to our Android Studio, and inside the project folder search for pubspec.yaml file and paste this dependency what we have copied just below the Cupertino icons dependency, and hit this pub get button. Okay, as we can see, the dependency fetching process is completed, and we can shrink that terminal. And our next step is to import the get dependency here. So we have to come again to the browser and again copy this one package, because we have to import in our file too. We have to import the get library into our file. So I have done this by adding this line to the main.dart file. Just change the title Flutter get state management. Copy this title and again paste this title here, because we want to just change also color of the primary swatch, which is the basically swatch color. So I am changing this to amber dot 9 shade 900, or we can change, just leave it to amber. And now come to further steps. Now what we have to do is, for integrating the getX state management, we have to do some changes in our main.dart file, which is we have to add get material app inside our run app method. So in our main.dart file, we can see here we found my app, and here only we have to add this code. So I am removing this constant, and I have to add this here only. As you can see, inside the run app only we have to add this code, get material app home. So but I suggest you not to do this thing here. We can also do we have to replace, just come below the build context inside the stateless widget my app, and what you can do is you can remove this material app and replace it by our get material app, okay, which is provided by the getx library for state management purpose. This comes under our step 1. So I can see that some error is coming. So we have to this, because this error is coming because home class is nowhere in our project right now. So let us create a home class, remove this extra code, extra class, and create a stateless widget, stateless class, stateless widget basically, and name this as home. Okay, so now we can see that error is removed, and here we have to do some changes, like we can add a scaffold here, and in scaffold we have to add body, and inside body we will add safe area. Safe area is basically used for preventing our UI to accommodate the space for for the notch in most of the mobiles, like in Androids, and in some iOS also. Uh, some iOS application mobiles also, we can see that there is a notch given for cameras and sensors. So we have to prevent our app to accommodate that space. So that is why we use safe area concept into Flutter. So just put child of safe area, and we will keep child of safe area as container. Now what we have to do is, I will go to browser again, and I will search for get device height and width in Flutter. Okay, so we got this link from Medium. Just copy these two lines and come to our project back, and we have to paste this just below the build context in the class of the in the widget where we want our device height, width, and all these calculations. So I have added these two parameters, or the variables, which is required by us for future measurements. So I am giving this container a width equal to the device width, and height is equal to height of device initially. So this container is our basically the screen, our first screen. Now let us move to the browser. And to the getx documentation, we can see our second step is to create business logic class and place all variable methods and controllers inside it. As you can see here, I am reading. Create your business logic class and place all variables, methods, and controllers inside it. So basically, get dependency not only offers get package not only offers us state management, but it also provides us pattern and structure for our project to make it more structured and organized. And also this gives us other kind of facilities like localization and other functionalities which we will see further in video. So let's move on to our step 2. Class controller extends getX controller. So this is our basically business logic, and basically we are using very simple business logic initially for learning purpose. We can put our logic in the same way as I am doing here. Just copy this one and go to Android Studio again, and I am making a class named as controller. Okay, I'm pasting this code here. I am separating the business logic, that is why I have made a separate class. I could have made pasted the same class into the main.dart file, but I did not did that because this makes more sensible and makes our project more structured, which is the main purpose of our get dependency. So again, move forward to step 3. Create your view, use stateless widget, and save some RAM. With get, you may no longer need to use stateful widget. So basically what it is telling us is using stateful widget consumes more RAM, and using stateless widgets saves RAM as compared to when we are using stateful widgets. Basically because stateful widgets consumes RAM because their states we have to update the state every time while using the stateful widget. But when we use any kind of state management tool like getX, block, provider, etc., then we do not rebuild the whole widget. We just build that widget to which we have to change the state. Okay, so this concept saves the RAM, and that is why step 3, that's what step 3 explains to us. So let us move on to step 3 again. Class home extends stateless widgets. So here I am copying this home class, and we are also having home class in our project. Let's move to our project inside the main.dart file. We are having here one home class, as I can see, which I have made earlier to solve this issue. Here we was having some issue because our class name was wrong, so I made one home class. I'm just replacing this class from the code I have copied just from the documentation of getX package. So as we can see, we have successfully did it, but some errors are coming like controller. So okay, we have to import some controller.dart from getX library. So now all the errors are resolved. Okay, so what is the result of we have done till now? We have done a lot of coding and like adding dependency and followed like 3 steps till now. So what is the result of these all work? This is a simple project basically, and it makes how powerful getX is. So let us see what we have done. So just open Android Studio again and run this project. So I am opening my emulator, Android virtual device. This one I am using. Okay, it will take some time. Till now I am going back to documentation, and this is saying that get is very powerful. As our project grows, difference will become more significant, because for small project, if we are using the default set state, or we are using any dependency, so for small project it does not matter much. But whenever we are creating large scale projects like e-commerce projects, big e-commerce projects, and big projects like OLX kind of clone applications, and big applications like Uber, Ola, taxi booking applications, these big applications require better state management and better dependency injection and other functionalities like uh, app localization, etc. So these kind of things require better state management and low compromise in state management techniques. Then this will shows this getx library will can show significant amount of optimization as compared to the default state management which comes in Flutter. So let us again check our output. Okay, so we have to run this. We forgot to run this. So now I have rerun the project. So now we can see the process is running. Okay. Mm, okay. So our project is run successfully. So what getx currently doing here? Let me explain you the code. Basically, first of all, we have added the get dependency for state management. Like state management is the thing, like whenever we are having some UI change according to any action on the same screen or different screen, so the affected screen of the affected UI must get updated according to the action performed, or the desired action performed, or the desired UI which we need as per the action. Then the UI must be updated according to the action. So in that case, state management plays a important role, because we need our UI to be updated according to the actions. So in this code, what we are doing is, what is our business logic, or we can say what is our motive logic or business logic is like, we have to increase the count of a text. So here we are increasing the value of a variable which is count, and we are increasing its value, we are incrementing its value. And OBS is an object which is helping us, and OBS is coming from the get library. OBS plays a major role in state management. OBS keywords plays, object plays a major role in getx state management. So come back to the main.dart file, and let me explain you the logic of main.dart file. So here we are having one class home and one class other. Other class is basically the destination class in which we can see the updated value. Basically, in the device, in our output, we can see a button and a text in which initially there is 0. Whenever we will click the button, then increment in the text will happen. Each time whenever we will click, text is increasing and UI is also updating. Widget is also rebuilding itself and updating as per the updated variables value. So we are using here getx library, therefore it is updating very fast and UI is updating very fast as compared to the default one. This is a small project, so we cannot see too much significant difference between the default one and the, what we can say, in the state management used project. Like whenever we are using getx, block provider and other approaches in small project, we cannot see significant difference, but when we will scale our project, then we can see the significant difference, and our performance will get optimized soon by using these libraries. So as I can hit as many times, the UI is updating in very less time as compared to other default techniques. So this is the benefit and power of state management tool getx, which is mentioned in the documentation. And basically this controller file is handling the business logic, and this and business of this logic is to increase the value of the variable, and our controller is helping us to update the UI. And obx is basically, this is used, obx, this is very necessary. We have to wrap always our widget which we need to rebuild. Like we need to rebuild only the text, then we have to wrap it inside the obx whenever we are using the getx library to update the UI. And c is basically the value coming from our controller. Okay, and it is basically instance of our controller which we have made here. This is our class, and the instance of this class is c. And here we are using get.put method to get instance of our controller class. And obx is used to rebuild the widget, and value is coming from the instance. And here we are having also one more class, which is in our main home class. We are also having one button in which we can see go to other text. Basically the function of this button is to navigate us to the next screen, other screen. And what this screen do is, let me rebuild the project. What this screen do is, this screen sends the value of this text to the next screen. As we can see 0 is coming here because 0 was present there. And let us increase the value. Current value is 6. Whenever we will navigate to the next screen, then we will see 6. So this is the main function. Let us see the code of other class also. It is just getting the value from controller and giving us the value into the next screen. Okay, and this is highly optimized library, therefore we can use this for our projects. So let us move to documentation again. We have seen like passing value from one class to another using Flutter controller, Flutter getx controller, and also like this one. And now 3 pillars of getx library. There are 3 functions what getx library do. First one is state management. State management is done by 2 state managers in get library. Simple one is get builder, and the reactive one is getx or obx. Reactive state manager. What reactive one, like getx or obs will do is, we won't need to create stream controllers. Okay, stream controllers are basically like they fetch data whenever we are having we are doing YouTube streaming, and we and there are certain changes to it, like whenever there is live chats, then there are certain changes which needs continuous update in the UI. So that kind of data handling can be done by stream controllers. But whenever we are using getx or obx reactive state managers, then we don't need to do that kind of thing by ourselves manually. You won't need to create a stream builder for each variable. Also, this function is also available whenever we are using reactive state manager like getx or obx. So these all kind of stuff are available in getx and obx reactive state managers. And reactive programming is very easy when we compare to a default set state thing. Route management. Here also get library provide us the second pillar, second main functionality and main role which getx library provide us is route management. Route management is basically the paths of the screens. Basically, like we are having some folder like settings. Inside settings we are having one more folder like settings 1, and we want to navigate by clicking a button to directly to settings 1. Then we will define the path like /settings/settings 1, and we will define this route into a single file inside our main.dart file inside the void main, and we will use initiate route argument into that code snippet, and this makes us like more less manage code. So get library provides us functionality to manage our routes efficiently, and it's also a state management tool, so it provides us better optimization and speed as compared to the default one traditional techniques for route management. So whenever we need to navigate to a new screen without defining the route, then we can use simply get to and next screen. Next screen is the class name of the destination screen. If we have already defined some route in our void main initiate route inside our main.dart file, and inside our void main function in the main.dart file, if we have already defined the route, then we can simply go to that file by clicking a button, by just putting this line inside the on pressed event of that button, if we have already defined the route. Let us suppose we want to move to our settings. So what we have to do is just we will put this code inside the on pressed event of that button, and we have to just put the route name here like /settings/settings 1. If we want to close any kind of snack bar, dialogues, bottom sheets or anything, we normally close by navigator.pop context. We can use get.back, which is lesser in characters as compared to navigator.pop context, which is far more lengthy as compared to this one, which is provided us by the get library, to go to the next screen and no option to go back previous screen, etc. So these are also some more functionalities for navigation which is facilitated by get library. The third pillar is dependency management. So if you want to see all these things, all these data what I am seeing here in detail, you can move to our website developerrescue.com and check out our get state management. In you can search it like getx and hit search button. You will find state management in Flutter and set state. Specifically we have did a complete tutorial for getx state management, so you can just click it here and follow the full guide here to get yourself ready for using this package. So let us move on to third pillar, which is dependency management. Dependency is basically like whenever you are doing any certain operations and you made a dependency, like one dependency example is like fetching an API data. You have created a method in which you are fetching data in Flutter and you have made a dependency, and now you need to efficiently consume the data from that method. So what you will do is you will first of all define its controller, as I have already discussed you that business logic always need controller in getx. So you will define your business logic inside a separate folder. You will name that folder like get controller, or let us suppose you are fetching any cart e-commerce, you are doing an e-commerce app and you are making like you are fetching cart data. So you will name the controller name as cart controller, and here you can see I am highlighting the code. You will make the instance like this. Your class name will be cart controller. Your object name, you can take any name as you want, and other this code will be similar, just your class name will change here again. Okay, now you can fetch you can initiate the method by using your object created by your instance, and here also you can also access some variables like this one. You can put this for fetching the API, and you can use this one also for getting any kind of text from your dependency defined anywhere inside your project in by using the get dependency get framework in Flutter. So what we are trying to say is get pattern is complete solution for various pillars in Flutter app development, like state management, which is most important topic. Second one is dependency management, which makes our data consumption, and like let us suppose we are consuming data from RESTful APIs, then it makes our work very easier. And other utils, which is fourth pillar we can say, but they are also saying that we are only having three pillars. Utils is something which is extra thing given to us by the get library, and utils are like extra services which we can use and we cannot use. This depends on us. We can use, we should use, it depends on, this totally depends on us. First one is internationalization. If we want to internationalize our application, like we are having clients from various parts of the globe, then we can use internationalization. Let us suppose we are making our application for 4 to 5 languages or 100 languages, then we can use internationalization. The getx package gives us the best internationalization techniques with lesser code and better code management. This also provides us translations, like let us suppose we want to translate any text, then we can simply define the text inside the text constructor, and we can just append the translating object, and it will automatically translate our text. We can also use singular, plural. These are basically utilities, extra utilities we can use, and we can use, or if we don't want to use, we it's our choice basically. We can also change our theme without using too much code, as we do in default traditional method, that we put around 4 to 5 lines of code to change just the theme. Let us suppose we are using a switch and we are switching our theme, so we need just this much of code to change our theme using the getx package in Flutter. Okay, they getx also provide some networking library, but people basically use http and do in Flutter for data consuming from RESTful APIs. Okay, middleways is also there. There are many utilities provided by getx pattern. So basically we have discussed in our video the main functionality, state management, and what the get dependency, get get packages, how we have to use it. We have already discussed how to define the controller, how to use the, how to use the controller, and how to consume the RESTful APIs, how to do the route management in our uh, get get package Flutter project. And also we have learned the dependency management. Let us suppose we have created some data fetching method in our some separate file, and we want to consume RESTful data in our some other UI, then we can do this by separating business logic or other data fetching operations from the UI, and we can fetch that data into the UI by using dependency management. So thanks for watching the video, and subscribe our channel, and like the video, and hit the bell icon for getting more videos related to Flutter and other technical aspects.